can be also confusing. It's actually, well, from my perspective, because obviously I'm not reading every book and I'm not in every groups in the world, but often what I'm seeing, and that's what's my experience also, is there are very two strong teachings of non-duality, because the one that are from the Christian perspective and the alchemist perspective, which is the tradition that come from the West, very few people know about them, and and it's very difficult, hard to find them, and now what is really mainstream, it's the Buddhist teachings and the Veda and the Vedist, which come from Hinduism. All of the teachings that come from the Veda, and this Buddhism and Vedas are kind of the mainstream, a very popular teaching of non-dualities that teach some kind of non-duality. And of course, in between those two groups, there are many different kinds, and it's there's no need to enter into this. But what is interesting, it's the big difference between those two. It's from the Buddhist perspective, it always goes, there is no self. This is kind of the way Buddhists go. There is no self, and just dive into this. And from the Veda perspective, they say you are everything. The you, the self that you are, is everything. It's Brahma. So because now they are mixing, and now people kind of use both understanding and teacher just in one same conversation. They just mix both teachings, and they name teachers like they're speaking in the same way, and they come from the same tradition, like it's like, yeah, but it's like if you take a Catholic priest, and you take an Islamist imam, and you mix their discourse. They both come from the same tradition, but the way they speak is completely different. I'm not talking about good or bad. I'm just saying it's just completely different way to approach this one understanding. So it brings so much confusion because in the same conversation or meeting, you can have the same person saying, there is no self, and after you are everything. So it can be very, very confusing if you don't have a lot of experience in reading and passionate about erudition and history and all of this. It can be kind of a little bit disarming sometimes. And both are valid tradition, but now it seems like there's this kind of melting pot of everything, and like whoever has said something in the past, it's amazing, like, okay, why not? It's kind of strange. And what don't go too far, but people say Buddhism here. When I speak to people, like I speak, I say Buddhism. Like Buddhism is just one big branch, But when you travel into Asia, you start to understand that it's way more complex than this, and the history and the culture and Buddhism. It's a huge religion. A religion in the sense it's tradition. It's a lot of different teachers and subdivision and understanding. And now really, when people say he's Buddhist, or whatever, I'm saying it doesn't mean anything really, because it's very complex. Behind this word, which I understand, there is a lot of complexity between what we believe that we are speaking about. And to add to the confusion, the Buddha never wrote anything. So, it's But anyway, this is a game that I like to play, but it's not really the focus of this meeting.